This video is brought to you by Maypen Educational Center, catering to evening CSEC classes and chess classes. Call 876-337-7374 or 876-775-6692. We got you covered preparing for exams. Andy Gone Nuts, 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351-1105. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to Reggae Boyz Commentary. This is the channel where we come together to discuss Jamaican football. There we go. There we go. And just to add the finishing touches. There we go. So, how's everybody's Sunday going? How's the rain in your parish? Well, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How that is going as the storm is gradually moving away from the island. Let us know how it is in your area. I am getting drizzle at this point in time. But what are you getting in your neck of the woods? What is the rain like in your parish? You can let me know your thoughts in the comments below about that, how things are progressing, and everything of that nature. So just inform us, and we take it from there. How's that? Sounds good? I'm sure everybody would be happy with that, right? So let's talk about the squad, shall we? And I see your comments coming in, and I will be acknowledging it right now. J. King says, big up Simon. David McClare says, up. Big up yourself, Simon. Just put in the work. Big up Simon. Look like you're coming from Kingdom. It was on Zoom today. Good morning, Simon. What happened to Antonia and Tony? No rain in the parish of Connecticut. Duly noted. Rob Smith, are you going to the game? Connecticut, you could drive to New Jersey. Ab says, up. Hope you're doing good, man. Plus Sunday, Simon. Intermediate rain in eastern end of the parish. Okay. Appreciate the update, man. Appreciate the update. So I'm getting to this. So let's first talk about Richard King. So the Jamaica Football Federation, in collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, worked together to expedite the appointment date to try to get Richard King a visa. However, the earliest time that could have been set for him was Monday, September 26. As we know, Monday, September 26 is tomorrow. And even if granted tomorrow, it doesn't guarantee that he would be able to make the plane, because there's a process time to make sure that visa is not approved but put in the book, and then give him the passport given back to him. So the reality is, while I expect him to get approved tomorrow, and it's good for future matches and future tournaments, this is what would rule him out for this game in particular. But I want to make this point clear before I tackle the other comments. And I see Charles Wilkinson, I see Rob Smith, and I sound off mic. I'm sorry about that if that is the case, but that's by no means my intention. But I want to make this extremely clear to everyone. And if you agree, you agree. If you disagree, you disagree. But I'm going to make that point clear. I say something about Antonio as well, and I'll touch that. I wanted to, but midweek is tough for work and childcare. Understood, understood. Morning, drizzling in Westmoreland from White House to the east, Negril in the west. Drizzling. Okay, cool, cool. All right, so this is what I want to say. This is what I believe. I believe that every reggae boy and every reggae girl from the under 15 level up should minimum have a US visa. Minimum, absolute bare minimum, US transit visa. And just the tier above the US transit visa, then the US visa in particular. Because more than likely, at some point in these guys' careers, under 15, under 17, under 20, under 23, senior team, men and women, at some point in their life, you're going to have to transit through the United States. And that is a fact. Whether it is a tournament or you're going to Guatemala for a competition, Mexico, Belize, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Honduras, you're going to have to transit through the United States at some point. If I want to go to St. Kitts and Nevis right now, I have to go to Miami first before I can go to Basseterre. So just let that sink in. If I want to go to St. Kitts and Nevis, I have to go further away from St. Kitts and go to the States just to get there. If I want to go to Colombia, yes, I could go through Panama City, but I would have to go all the way up north to go to Miami first and then come down. If I want to go to the Dominican Republic tomorrow morning, I can't wake up and say, all right, I want to go on a straight flight to DR. I can't do that. We can't do that in Jamaica. We can't go on a straight flight from Jamaica to DR. We have to go through Miami or Fort Lauderdale. So what is the point? The point is quite clear. Every player, every single player, men and women, under 15 level up, must minimum, bare minimum, have a US transit visa. Bare minimum. There's no excuse that a national player should not have a visa. And this is not me having a bash at anybody. This is me making the point that an international football player representing your country must have more than just a document, a travel document saying passport of Jamaica. It has to be much deeper than that. Much, much deeper than that. And the point is quite simple. Youth level and senior level, you have a US visa. US visa, absolute bare minimum. And if we're going to absolutely stretch this, as international football players, qualification for World Cups, playing in nations leagues, and traveling the globe, to be quite frank with you, there's 3 visas that should always be in your passport. 3 visas that should always be with you. And that is the US visa, the Canadian visa, and the UK visa. All right, Jamaica gets called up to play the United Arab Emirates. Kingston, London, London, Dubai. Boom. Just like that. So, of course, you transit through London. Yeah? Oh, Jamaica has a match in Doha, Qatar. Okay. Kingston, Toronto, Toronto, Doha. Bam. Done. Canadian visa right there. This is a bare minimum. This is an absolute bare minimum that needs to be well known, accomplished. Full stop. We need to ensure all national players, men, women, have a US visa, bare minimum, transit or a regular US visa. Look, in Jamaica, look at our geography. Look what is around us. We have Cuba, we have the Cayman Islands, to the east we have Haiti and DR, and up north we have the United States. From Kingston, it's just a shade over an hour to get to South Florida, Fort Lauderdale, or Miami. Yeah? So you guys exactly know where I'm heading with this. If you're playing any sport, you need visa. And look, guys, as much as I would love for us to say that we can travel to the United States without a visa, that's not going to happen anytime soon. When you hold a Jamaican passport, you're not going to travel to the United States without a visa. And I can't see that happening for now. And this is not me speaking pessimistically. This is just me speaking objectively about the matter. Same with Canada. And I didn't want to go on a tangent here, but I have to. Did you know that with a St. Kitts and Nevis passport, you can travel to over 170 countries visa-free? That in itself is just phenomenal. But look, we can talk all we can about what our fellow countrymen did when they entered countries outside of Jamaica and that have put up these strict regulations. But guess what? At the end of the day, another country has set their laws and we have to abide by it. All right? It must be disrespected. So if the United States of America says that Jamaican passport holders need a US visa, then fine, we get a visa. But I've made it clear already that why do I have to be punished? I've made it clear, why do we as Jamaicans have to be punished? It feels like, honestly, to some people can refer to as punishment for something that you didn't did. Like, why are you punished for something that your fellow countrymen did 50, 60 years ago in another country? I can't wake up tomorrow morning and say, I want to go to France. I can't wake up tomorrow morning and say, I want to go to Germany. No, because we need the Schengen visa first. The average Jamaican tomorrow morning can't get up and say they want to go to Canada because they don't have a Canadian visa. But I say all of that to say this. National players, from the moment that they're called up in a camp for under 15, and you know the CONCACAF under 15 boys championship is going to be hosted in Trinidad or DR. And granted, yes, you don't need a visa to go to Trinidad with a Jamaican passport holder because we're all members of CARICOM, right? But the sheer point of reality is this. There can be emergencies. There can be delays. There can be changes. Travel is such a flexible environment. And you need to be physically and mentally prepared for it. You need to. I've probably only traveled to Canada twice on my Canadian visa since I renewed it quite recently. But you never know. Your flight can be delayed or cancelled, and you need to transit through another country just to get to your next destination. And this is something that we have to be prepared for in the world of travel. I'm not saying that we have to be fickle, but we have to be prepared. We have to be prepared and not be stuck in limbo. So this is something that we really, really have to grasp with our national players. From the moment that they're called up into camp, they should have a travel document with a passport. And when you know that there's a competition coming up, under 15, under 17, under 20, 6 months to a year in advance, and you have that pool of 40 players in camp, and say, at the end of the day, I'm going to call up 23, but let's get 30 of these best guys visas, US visas. So when that time comes, we know we're good to go. And I know COVID slowed down a lot of visa appointments. I know. I really understand that. But the point to all of this is preparation. Preparation goes an extremely far way. Very, very far away. Some people say they double check. I triple check. I triple check things. I will continue along with my monologue, but I want to see what you guys are saying. Number one guy says rain falling in the bush. I don't see jams low there, even though it's been like that for the season. Omar Clark says, good morning from Port Royal. Rain, rain, rain. Oh, wow. King is Cavaliers' top prospect, and they didn't have secured a US visa for the young man. Shame on Mr. Speed. Young man missing a chance because of a visa is sickening. Honestly, Rob Smith, all players, like I made it clear, all players, even if you're not part of the traveling delegation for any matches or tournament, you need a US visa because there can be injuries, there can be suspensions. Then you have, yep, and that was the reason why. Oh, you're recapping 98 because that's not going to be the scoreline come Tuesday. this that was one of the reasons he didn't go to the MLS. Yep. Making the world a better place shows the sad state of the JPL because his club should have made sure. I don't think it's the club's responsibility. It's the federation. Cayman Islands passport as well. Really wanted to see Richard King to steadily agree. I agree. Yeah. They'll be they'll be in camp, guys. Don't worry. They'll be around. So the squad is now down to 22. How are these players supposed to get their visa? How are they supposed to? You have a team manager that outlines with them and goes through the process with them. Okay, these are the documents you need, your bank statements, this is what you need. We will provide a letter confirming that you are a national player and you need visas for travel to international tournaments, matches, and assignments. It's not complicated. I think a US visa now, in terms of securing the appointment and putting the application together, is around 150 to 200 US dollars. You pay it at one of the local banks. You say you have your appointment date and time, and you go for your appointment. Will Richard King replacement be Jordan Scarlett or Devon Williams? To be quite frank with you, Teddy Lee Gray, in terms of the exact replacement, we'll have to wait and see. Agreed 1,000,000%, Simon. Thank you very much, King. When was the Argentina match announced and why the JFF just seeking government assistance? The Argentina match was announced 4 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago, in terms of the exact confirmation for a fixture of this magnitude. 4 weeks ago, this was done. Mark Plunkett says the Caribbean needs to do a better job at low cost of travel within the Caribbean. That would make it easier. I understand what you're saying, Mark, but cost of travel, airline ticket versus a visa are two completely different conversations. I'm agreeing with you that cost in the traveling in the Caribbean is expensive. You could go to Trinidad for the same cost of you going to Fort Lauderdale or Miami. And I find that quite concerning, honestly. Going to Guyana, going to Barbados. So I agree, cost of travel in the Caribbean is quite pricey, and I find that, honestly, bizarre. The Jeff official is listening to you, Simon. The US says getting a visa is a privilege, not a right. Really? Interesting. So let's say that Jamaica has a match to play against Chile. We have to stop in Miami. How else do we get to Santiago? The only other alternative is Kingston, Panama City, to Chile. Oh, the score be of the game? You'll hear it. How is it the federation's responsibility? The federation has the responsibility to get the visa of the national players. That is their responsibility. They cover flights, accommodation, and when they have a national player, if I want you to play for my country, I have a Jamaican passport, and I know that I'm playing a game against Colombia, and I know that I have to stop in Miami. It's my responsibility as a federation to get that visa. It's my responsibility. Why is it the player's responsibility? It cannot be the player's responsibility. It cannot be the player's responsibility. I've never I've never, anyone in administration. I mean, there's been one or two situations where support staff members have had visa situations. Let's hope the USA relax those privilege argument. Teddy Lee Gray, I don't know, 4 years from now, or technically you could say 3.5 from now. Look, we have to prepare from now because the World Cup is in USA, Mexico, and Canada. And the reality is that right now, you need a visa to enter the United States and you need a visa to enter Canada with a Jamaican passport. And I'm more than happy. So I'm going to bring up a graphic on the screen. Because a Jamaican passport is the 61st strongest passport in the entire world. Put it that way. So if you look on the map here, you will see the countries in green are visa-free access for Jamaicans with a Jamaican passport, that is. So this gives you a clear picture of everything. Everything that you see in gray, that means you need a visa to enter that country. Some of them visa on arrival, visa on arrival. Some of them e-visa, and some of them appointment, just like the US visa and stuff like that. I'm getting to your comments and everything like that. No, Richard King. Richard King is a baller. What are you talking about? I heard that in '98, one of our players couldn't go to the US. '98? '98, really? Interesting. Right. So when you look at this right here, let me just make the point that for 83 countries in the world, Jamaica can go without visa-free access to 83 countries in the world. Of course, you have like a quarter of them in the Caribbean, but still 83 countries in the world. Let's now look at the countries where you need a visa. All right, so you see these countries right here, and it tells you clearly where you need a visa to go for different countries. Let's think about potential places that Jamaica will have to go for matches in the future, right? If Jamaica were to play a return leg against Argentina, they would need a visa. If Jamaica has to play Australia, they need a visa. So if you want to go visit Mariapa, you need a visa. Austria, we needed a visa to go there, right? Bahamas, no visa. Barbados, no visa. Right? Belize, no visa required. Brazil, visa not required. Canada, visa required. Chile, visa not required. Let us go to another country, shall we? Okay, so you see all of these countries here? Mexico, visa not required. So Jamaican does not need a visa to enter Mexico. So Jamaicans from now just need a US and a Canadian visa. That's it. As Mr. Speed said, he does not pick teams. He does not pick teams. He's not the selector of the national team. Pick up Simon. Good to see the ballers in high spirits. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. I agree 100%. Let's look back again at this. If you want to go to Namibia, visa not required. New Zealand, visa required. Qatar, e-visa. Russia, Jamaicans don't need a visa to go Russia. Just let that sink in right there. The strongest currency in the world is the Kuwaiti dinar. Let's see if Kuwait, you need a visa to go to Kuwait. You need a Kuwait to go for with a Jamaican passport. So there we go. Turks and Caicos Islands holders of a valid visa by Canada do not require a visa. There you go. If you want to go to Antarctica, then you need permission, not a visa, but permission. Montserrat, you don't need a visa. Would you look at that? Pitcairn Islands, 14 days visa free, and London, 35 USD. If you want to go to Cayman, visa of the US, UK, or Canada, visa free for nationals of Jamaica or under 15 and over 70. So that's a specific age bracket right there. Very, very specific. There will be no visa issues in 2026 because the majority of the players will have British or American passports, in my opinion. New era. A few of them have Jamaican passports, but if you want to say, like, for example, someone like Andre Blake, he has a green card, so he'll be okay. Or, for example, someone like Damien Lowe, who has a green card, so he will be okay. Or, for an example, you'd expect by then that someone like Peter Lee Vassell, who's living in the States, he would have a green card by then. Wonder if it's because King come from. No. Bad place? No. Not at all. Was the travel arrangement work out well? Maybe Speed and Kevin in the past tried to get visa. I don't want to say it got turned down. No, not that I'm aware of. I mean, come like without Speed, those players must go build them career before they can make the national team. I don't understand what you're saying, Dr. Joyfield. I'm making the point that why should it be my responsibility as a national player to get a visa? You want me to play for the country. You've called me up to play for the country. You're going to take care of my airfare, accommodation, per diems, match fee, etc. So it should be your responsibility as well to take care of the visa. So, yeah. So, yeah. His agent helped him out. The evidence over the years to me and a majority of people who's otherwise regarding Mr. Speed. Huh? Well, you have 20. With King out of the mix, it's now 22 in the squad. So that's the situation at this point in time. But guys, we have to think about it from now. Right? So the Reggae Girls. The Reggae Girls, Australia and New Zealand, right? That's where the World Cup is going to be. New Zealand, you need a visa. Holders of Australian permanent resident visa or return visa may be granted a New Zealand resident on arrival permitting infinite stay. All right, so if you have an Australian visa, then you should be okay for New Zealand, right? So we know already for players like Trudy Carter, yeah, Bonnie Shaw, players like Sashana Campbell, players like Jodie Brown with a Jamaican passport. Once they get the Australian visa, they're good to go. When persons go abroad on company business, the company sponsors the visa. So why should it be different? I honestly don't understand. The visas are taken care of by that association. Why should it be the prerogative of the player? When you check in on a flight, the bags are paid for by the federation. Why should it be paid for by the player itself? Honestly, the only thing that should be coming from the player's pocket is heart and soul and passion and drive and tenacity for the country. That's the only thing. The situation MVM ICAC is quite simple. It's quite simple. And the reality is that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade worked with the JFF, and his appointment could not be moved earlier than tomorrow being Monday. So that's the reality, which would mean that he would be out of the fixture. In terms of staff, are you referring to the coaching staff, technical staff? Is that what you're referring to? There will be training today and there will be training tomorrow. So Simon, is that the duty of the Reggae Boyz manager? In terms of the visas, he has to gather the documents. He has to gather the documents together. But in terms of turning up to the interview, that's on the player. But in terms of mapping out everything, you would have the JFF administration that ensures that all of the documents are done together. It cannot be the player who get the visa. Case the federation negotiate the match on a country we need visa. There you go. Watching the Chelsea versus Man City women's game, Captain Bunny looks like the bunny fresh out of college, look in shape. Happy to see it. Yeah, hope she likes. Kimar Benson says the coaching staff. Will you get clippings of the sessions? Time will tell, my G. Tiffany Cameron says, "Oh, Tiffany Cameron is here." Wait. Tiffany not? Hi, Simon. Passing through, showing some love. Big up yourself. Fancy shirt and tie. Let's see a blown up version of your outfit. Full screen, please, and thank you. I hear you. How's that? There we go. How's that? Looks good. All the players should do is attend the visa interview. That's their only requirement. And don't bring your phone, don't bring a pen, and that's it. Drop the link for her. I think Tiffany is watching the Man City versus Chelsea game, and she's gonna say, "I haven't got my hair done yet. I gotta do my hair before I come on," and stuff like that. I know Tiff would come on, but I know she's watching the Man City game versus Chelsea, but I know she's popping in and out here and there for sure. But as you can see, Tiffany's getting a lot of support in the comments as well. Number 15. Number 15. We are saying number 15. Yeah. So we don't know that it is the player. Seems. All right. Drop the link for her. Bam, 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 bam. Take off the glasses. Yesterday and the day before there was training. Today Brookshire Wagwan. Is that burp or brap? Tiff, Jamaican Hearts. Making the world a better place. It's big up Tiffany. Tiffany Cameron in the place. That's right. Very, very important player. You know what I'm saying? Big baller. Benzema. Yeah. And you guys know the gist already, right? Because Tiffany Cameron, Jamaica's highest top scorer in the UEFA Women's Champions League, And in addition to that, you guys know already that whenever she scores, Jamaica always wins. So, yeah, yeah. So you guys know. I'm saying living in waters, for example. I don't think where you live disqualifies you. Come on, Tiff, join the scream. Simon, the skin color changed just now. I just look like you even setting inquiry minds. Huh? You ever hear of South American and African talents having visas? I've heard it before for those two continents. Not a lot, but I've heard visa challenges for players from those continents. Yes. You can get anything in this world if you have persuasion skills. If you fail, it is because you failed to persuade, says Telly Degree. So the coach using the last system, Paul Hall user, man, he's going to use his own system. He's going to use his own system. So that's something you can be wary of. Yeah. So yeah. He's going to use his own system for the game. His own system, his philosophy, his style, everything. Why you guys take up Teddy Lee Gray and call the man Grims? Heimer Halgrimson. Pronounce it after me. Heimer, high, like high, mer, Heimer, 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 Hal Grimson. Hal Grimson. Halgrimson. Heimer Halgrimson. Heimer Halgrimson. Heimer Halgrimson. Tell Tiff congrats again on her award. Absolutely. 451 with Antonio as a designated one. African players have had visa problems all the time. All the time. He said he will not be using his system for this match. I'm not sure about that. Simon, a Jamaican, yeah, deal with everybody gets a nickname. Yeah. What's my nickname then? Let's see if you know. Maybe Jamaica should stop playing matches in the US then. They can't do that because guess what? Tell the league, right? We're going to have to go to the Gold Cup. And go to the Gold Cup means you're going to need a visa because the matches are going to be played in the United States. If you're talking about friendlies and so on, it's profitable when we have games in the States. As in, there, you think about the Jamaican diaspora, so there will be great receipts. I me call the man from Mon and Simon. The Icelandic Ted Lasso. Let that trend. The Icelandic Ted Lasso. Icelandic Ted Lasso. Greetings. How are you doing, sir? Coach Grims. The Icelandic Ted Lasso. Tiffany is a very sweet lady. She is a genuine human being, I would say so. Absolutely. Simon, if you're the coach, will you sit in the stands for the match or take charge? Take charge. Take charge. Take charge. Take charge. Heard King should pick up his visa tomorrow morning. Let us see. I know that the appointment is scheduled for tomorrow. I know for certain that the appointment is scheduled for tomorrow. Will that mean that he'll make the trip for the game itself? That, my friends, is another conversation altogether. His interview date is Monday, September 26th. Can that be expedited? Everyone has good interviews. They just know it. They are known as a set of questions after this practice. Well, you know the questions already. You know some of the questions already. What you do for work. You might get a few questions about your family life and stuff like that. They might ask him how long has he been playing football, and might ask him about the first time he played for his country. Maybe we start playing friendly matches at the stadium. We can't play over. Give me a better bet. Totally, as much as we want to, we can't avoid the United States in terms of travel. We have to travel to the United States at some point in our life. Simon, that too hard, man. Dentist argued me. Heimer Halgrimson. From in CONCACAF, you can't live without playing in the USA. There you go. Match is Tuesday, 8 o'clock and 7 o'clock Jamaica time. Home game next year, the Gold Cup. Italy needs some help. Maybe they ever need to talk to FIFA so they could talk to the US Soccer Federation. So that is a conversation that can happen. I agree. That's something that can happen. Agreed. And as I said, I think if, for example, Jamaica has matches in Central America, I do think a bare minimum US transit visa is realistic. Totally. You think US care if Jamaica want to play games in their country? They have world class facilities with the best teams around them. We're booking friendlies in their venues. First, as a player, have a red flag that's got the size and I'm aware of. Why is it that Gold Cup is always in the USA? Why is it in the Costa Rica or Panama always USA? Well, Jamaica actually hosted games in 2019, and so did Costa Rica. They also hosted games in 2019 as well. And this was the first time the Gold Cup was played outside of North America. It's North America, the biggest market, biggest stadiums, more money. We hope he makes it so he can at least be on the bench. Gold Cup is the only confederation tournament basically played in one country. Yeah. Is the potential friendly against a South American team? Possibly Chile in November. Farmer Helgrimson. Do you ever knew about the match a month ago? Yes, the fixture was confirmed a month ago. That is correct. Coach Grimmy or Grim. No wonder the Gold Cup doesn't get the respect like that. The tournament's only two teams win it all the time. The tournament only played in. Well, Canada did win it in the year 2000. Canada did win it in the year 2000. Jamaica went to the Gold Cup final twice. Panama went to the Gold Cup final a few times as well. Costa Rica went to the Gold Cup final once. Honduras has been to the Gold Cup final back in the 1990s. That was 1991, the first edition of the Gold Cup. Yeah, first edition of the Gold Cup. That's where things are there. But, in terms of outside of USA, Canada, Mexico, in terms of the success that other teams have brought to the competition itself, outside of those teams, USA, Canada, Mexico, Jamaica has been one of the few teams that had a fair bit of, I don't want to call it success, but have had decent runs in the competition. Out of all the teams that have played at the Gold Cup itself, they have the eighth best run out of all the teams in Gold Cup history. USA, Mexico, you guys get what I mean. So it just gives you a perspective into everything. And it's just very funny that, it's basically recent times that Jamaica has had their success in the tournament itself. Have you seen the fields outside of USA, Canada, Mexico? I have, yeah. Why is this visa issue so rampant in Jamaica with these organizations? They know well in advance of their engagement, yet we wait until the last minute. Nepal had similar incident recently. They did have what I can say is US visa compared to other visas take a long time. But yes, you're right. We did know that this match was a month in advance. We did know that for certain. You go for sale, Simon. Good afternoon. I go for sale? What do you mean? Netball. Yep. Other sports as well have had these issues. Yeah, home field advantage is actually a thing. Cuba and Jamaica will always have these issues with America. Teddy Buckshot says, Simon, if CONCACAF make countries bid for hosting rights, yeah, I would see it happening. And look, Victor Montagnani spoke about Jamaica and was proud about what Jamaica is. I hear what you're saying, you know, I hear what you're saying. I really, really do. But I don't count the one in 1985 because the Gold Cup started in 1991. From 1963 to 1989 was the CONCACAF Championship. That was not the Gold Cup. That was the CONCACAF Championship was teams that put together basically eight, nine teams put together in one competition. And you had teams that had to withdraw from the CONCACAF Championship because of qualification clashes with the 1966 World Cup qualifiers and all of that things. So the CONCACAF Championship and the Gold Cup, two different competitions. Two completely different competitions. Was the netball issue due to a lack of vaccination? No. Every local footballer who get called up should, yeah, absolutely. Agreed. 150% I'm on board with you. Not you, Simon. I know you're well traveled. Okay. The Grim Reaper. The Icelandic Ted Lasso. I know the details of the Adidas. We will know in January, my friend. Canada has two, 1985 and the year 2000. Has Taxi officially retired? No. To answer that question is no. I would like to see you be the president of the Jamaica Football Federation, says Devon Smith. Much appreciated, boss. Really, really appreciated. Thank you very much for your kind words. Much appreciated there. Montagliani is not a madman. Stop it. Stop it. So yeah. So yeah, this is the situation that we're at right now. And I'm sure you guys have been getting updates that the storm is moving further away from Jamaica. Good news. Which is very good news. So once you can prove to the embassy that you have a reason, of course, you'll be fine. I believe it's a disadvantage for the poorest countries to always have to play on the road. It's quite a unique confederation, CONCACAF, because you have the Caribbean, Central America, and North America. Should we create another federation? The CFU? The Caribbean Football Federation, CFC? And break away from CONCACAF? And just be North America and Central America, so it not be not CONCACAF, but it would be CONCAF. Simon here needs subordinates to some questioning things I wonder if remains stable. What is the quality of the US collegiate football system? It depends on the division. Division one teams are good quality teams and have potential of players that can break into the MLS. And worst case scenario, United Soccer League. A 5-team no group stage Champions League while the rest of the world is using. Oh, I understand what you're saying there. I believe that there should be a situation where If you win the Jamaica Premier League, you qualify for the CONCACAF Champions League, and if you come second, you qualify for the CONCACAF League. Boom, done. Do that the same for Trinidad, Guyana, St. Lucia, Antigua. And you have the same thing like the UEFA Champions. You have the preliminary round, you have the playoff round, and you have the group stage. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But guys, at the moment, that is the latest. I hope everyone is doing okay. Hope everyone is staying safe. The storm is moving away from Jamaica. So we give thanks. We give thanks. All right. So guys, take it easy. More videos to come later today. All right. More updates, more videos to come. Stay tuned. Okay, guys. Be safe. Enjoy your Sunday. As the storm passes away, ensure to, before you go, like, share, comment, and subscribe.
This video is brought to you by Maypen Educational Center, catering to evening CSEC classes and chess classes. Call 876-337-7374 or 876-775-6692. We got you covered preparing for exams. Andy Gone Nuts, 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351